Hi friends, Mindy here. Today I want to share with you this new printable from Michelle at the Junk Journal Studio. This is her Botanical Collage and Cluster Mega Pack. These packs always have so much in them, and there are 43, I think, pages in this set, and this is the green and neutral set, and through the next few weeks she's going to be adding some other colors that will also coordinate with these, so be looking for those. These are already available in her Etsy shop. I will link that down below if you're interested. I'm just going to go through here really quickly and kind of show you all of the different things. She's got this great neutral set of labels that say like botanic and plants and just different things, and then all different sizes, and then just some labels that have just some images or different types of things. I love these little wax labels with the bees on them. I have a journal that I'm actually going to put those in already. And then I love these kind of different shapes. And then you have a green page of labels, and then some of those same shapes with the green on them as well. And then you have this kind of almost like T card size. These just make really great focal points on pockets or tags or whatever. And then some kind of neutral ephemera that you can use as backgrounds or even as, tuck spots, depending on the kind of size of journal that you're using. And I love that she does them in different sizes. I've mentioned that before. I love that she does the 3 different sizes. It just makes it so easy to find the right one, because sometimes you just, without having to go in and resize it yourself. So that is just really helpful. And I love that there's like a lot of fonts and different things. And then these pages of just kind of charts and numbers are just really versatile as well. This I feel like you could honestly use as a pocket or a journaling card. It's just nice and big. And then here are some other pages as well. Now you kind of have those same pages in green, so I'm going to go through here kind of quickly. Those were the neutrals and now into the greens, but I love just like the type fonts and the scripts. And then you get into these collage pages. And so typically, like, my printer would print these, like, you can print them borderless. For some reason my printer was just not cooperating this day, but anyway, I don't really typically make my journals in this size where you take a 8.5 by 11 and fold it in half. That's just not my preferred size. I prefer mine just a little bit smaller. And so I will actually be doing kind of what I've done in the past with these, is just kind of tearing them down and using them for other things, and then still using them in a journal. Or you could even cut the size down and still use them in a journal. If you like, for me, I like a 5 by 7-ish kind of size. But you could definitely use these as full pages. Of course, you could also print these on coffee dyed paper. I've done that before if you really want a kind of aged vintage look. I just did these all on some white paper here today, and you can kind of see the last few pages here of these little like tea cards and just ephemera. And you have some mushrooms and things, but I feel like those could go for fall or summer. And so there's just a lot, as always, in her collage mega pack. And also don't forget to check out her Ko-Fi site, because she's got a bunch of free printables as well. The last video I did, I shared some of those. So anyway, today what I'm going to be doing is creating some ephemera. And you can see over there on the left, I have these really tall, skinny tags that I created out of some book pages. These are actually pages that were like glue papers, and so I just folded them vertically so I would have these long, skinny tags. And so I'm going to use these collage pages and just tear down a little section of them to put on here. Now, ordinarily, I like to keep the variety, like the most of the book text that I can. But for whatever reason, the pages that I'm using here, some of these words just, they don't need to be seen. And so I'm going to be covering up most of the writing and just kind of taking advantage of the patina of the pages, because nobody needs to be reading what's underneath. What's underneath there? I don't know really what happened. Anyway, because this was like from a Reader's Digest condensed book. But anyway, I'm doing this on the backside as well, and I went with one that had like these lines. I felt like that would make a really good journaling spot for somebody if you wanted to just kind of take notes on the back. And then again, this is where having those different sizes is super helpful. You can see I have the larger one over there on the right. Went with the medium size one, and then one of these little octagons with an image, and then just a little label at the top to try to balance everything out. And then I left the raggedy edge on that because I just really liked how that looked. So, and then I had this one in my stash too that's almost like a journaling card, and this is where I'm going to use that larger size. I love the font of this particular ephemera piece, and so I felt like it went really well on this journaling card. And I love how this journaling card came out, but it's just a little too wide. The proportion is off a little bit for me. So I'm just going to trim it down and make it just ever so slightly smaller. And then I'm going to round the corners. And I found with this We Are Memory Keepers punch, if you have one of these, that it really helps if you have the cut side facing you. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but sometimes when I use it facing away, I just don't get a very good corner round. I don't know if it's just user error, but I have found having it facing the opposite way just works better. I don't know why, but it does. So anyway, I'm just gluing down that little piece and then another one of these little octagons. And I'm going to move on again to the back side of this. I want to add another, this is actually another little skinny tag here. The backside of that journaling card was just white, so you can coffee dye that or add some coffee dyed paper or whatever. But this little tag here, I'm adding another little piece that's got an area that I feel like will be really good for writing. Although I really feel like you could write on this one too, because there are open spaces in here. But this is just, again, that collage paper that I'm just kind of tearing down, little bit by bit to fit on these, especially these tall, skinny tags. Got it a little bit crooked. Or at least I thought it was, and then I realized that it was actually the fold of the tag, but we got it fixed here. Just had to kind of rearrange everything. I just kind of liked the subtle background, and then I'm going to add this little label, but it was a little too wide, so I'm just wrapping it around to the backside, which I feel like is okay since there's also that paper on the backside as well. And then I added a little bit of distress ink just to give that some dimension. And then on this one, again, this is one that this text needs to be covered up. And so I have these tags that I created that have this little pocket in them. And so what I'm going to do is add kind of this image. I sort of tore it out of the paper. I really loved this like fern, and just lining it up right with the edge of that pocket and then trimming everything down. And then I was going to just leave it like this, and ordinarily this is how I would do it, was to leave a little bit of the book text behind there. But again, it's got some words on there that are just not very nice. And so I'm covering that up. And I pulled out one of these ephemera pieces and I put it on some coffee dyed paper, and I'm going to tuck that into the pocket like you can see here. And that will be something that somebody can use for writing space, or pull it out and use it in their decorating or whatever. And then keeping something really kind of simple and basic on the back as well. So if they wanted to add something or writing or whatever, you can do that. And so I pulled out some of these actual like ephemera pieces that are more like the tea card size. And that one was just a little bit too wide. So I found this beautiful one with a little dragonfly on there. And then I have this paper that I really like how this looked. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the whole page, but I'm going to actually wrap this around to the back again, just because I need to cover up most of this book paper here. And then that will just give it a little bit of interest on both the front and the back. I will have to trim this down just a little bit because my piece was just a little bit too big for this little tag here. And then that other like T card was just a little bit larger. So it's going to cover up the good portion of this backside of this tag. And then that can go in a journaling card or a journal as well. I just really like all the kind of different contrasting. And of course, I didn't mention this, but I am distressing everything with archival ink and ground espresso, and but not really necessarily the book paper like tags, because they already have a great patina to them, but just these printables. So again, doing the same process with another little tag. These are kind of all made at the same time, and just adding some pieces. There was a part of this one plant that I wanted to cover up. I used another one of the little ephemera pieces, and then the little butterfly that was included in this. It's like, the first couple pages I showed. And then again, I pulled another paper that I felt like could be used for a journaling space in the back and put that over there. And then this is everything that I've done. So if you like this video, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Be sure to check the links for Michelle's shop. And until next time, bye.